Hey there guys, Spiritual Muse here. I'm here to talk to you again about another new moon tomorrow at 2:01 p.m. on the East Coast here in New York. We have a new moon in Virgo at 7 degrees of Virgo at 2:01 p.m. on September 9th, 2018. So we have a lot of interesting numbers going on. First of all, in this new moon, obviously the new moon is on September 9th, so 9/9. 9 is a number of completion, so it marks sort of the end of a phase and the turning of the wheel. We also have 11 very dominant here, 11 being a master number, a number of service, and Virgo is a service-oriented sign as well. It's a sign of healing and grounding. It's also Virgo, the Virgin, so it's a sign of purity, a time when you really want to check and make sure that all of your intentions are good ones. And the new moon is a time when we focus on our intentions. So it's an important time to think about our intentions and think about whether or not they're something that is positive and, good for yourself and everyone else, or if maybe our intentions are not so clear, not so virgin, not so pure. So really focusing on our intentions now at the time of this new moon. We're thinking about the seeds that we want to plant for the coming cycle. We're entering into a new season as well. Here on the East Coast in the U.S., it is, are entering a fall. The last couple of days have started to actually feel like fall as well. I bought a new sweater. It's feeling like fall time. So it's really a new time to start new things and focus on what we want out of this new cycle, this new season, this new era as we begin this new moon cycle. So the new moon in Virgo is a time when we should pay attention to details. We want to be thinking about personal transformation and anything that we want to change or the things that we want to create and manifest into our lives. We want to see what's working and what is not, and we want to release anything that doesn't serve us so that we can make room for what does. You want to really think about what fulfills you and what makes you feel like you are following your true purpose. And you want to pay attention to your daily routines. So Virgo is really important for sort of the mundane tasks, the day-to-day things. And we want to try to develop a really healthy routine or to see what parts of our routines aren't working. Maybe we need to give ourselves a little less structure in our routine because Virgo can be a little overly critical. We want to not criticize ourselves for falling out of step with our routine, but to allow ourselves to get back into a healthy routine when we fall out of step. It's a sign of service as well, so it's a good idea to find little things you can do for others, even just very simple things. But at the same time, we want to make sure that we're not doing it in servitude and we're doing it out of the love in our heart and not a feeling of guilt or anything negative like that. We want to also remember not to be so critical and to accept all beings as they are and love them and to love ourselves as well. So that's really important too. We want to focus on our diet as well. Healing is another aspect of Virgo. We want to think about what we're eating on a day-to-day basis and whether or not it's healthy. Also reminding ourselves that everything, is just fine in moderation. Just don't overdo things. We don't want to deprive ourselves of things either because that's not healthy as well. So there's a fine line. There's a fine balance with that, and that's something we want to focus on is a healthy balance in our lives. And also, between spirituality and work and eating healthy and just, having a balance in all things in our lives is important. You want to start doing healthy routines. Maybe think about some healthy routines you want to have this month. Maybe write a list of what you want to manifest into your life, and maybe one of them is a routine. I know myself, as a Gemini, I love change, and I find it hard to stick to a daily routine. And I also can be hard on myself when I do not stick to a routine once I say I'm going to. So I myself want to commit to sticking to my daily routine, doing more meditation, more yoga, and more other exercises as well. So if any of those things sound good to you too, maybe adding something healthy into your diet, a little supplement, or, drinking a green smoothie in the morning, something good for yourself like that. It's a great idea for that too. And again, remembering not to be too critical of yourself or others. It's also a really good time with a Virgo new moon to get organized. It's a good time to catch up on bills and paperwork. I have to pay my taxes. And also just getting organized in other aspects of your life. Maybe, maybe you have a bunch of letters that you need to go through on your kitchen table, something like that. Maybe you just need to get more organized to relieve yourself of stresses that can come up because of not being organized. So that's a good thing to work on this cycle. We also have some other important aspects. We have Neptune opposite the moon in Pisces, which reminds us to trust our intuition. It's a time of spiritual awakening, and we have to listen intuitively to our higher self. If you're not in tune, then this can be a really confusing time. So try to take some time to meditate and get into tune with yourself. Maybe take a walk. Maybe while it's still warm enough outside, take your shoes off and walk in a garden, do a little earthing. Maybe even just take a short hike, take a walk, get outside, breathe some fresh air, and really start to slow down and listen to your higher self, because this new moon is going to be a really good time to make sure you are listening and aware, because it's going to guide you in exactly the right direction, and I'll go more into that shortly. We also have Mercury in Virgo, which is, so once again in Virgo, and Mercury rules Virgo. So this is a time when information is going to be buzzing all around us. It can cause you to change your perspective. It can help you be more perceptive. And it can also really sort of awaken a lot of people as well. So this is a time when you may notice people kind of coming out of their own spiritual caves. And if you were already on your spiritual path, then give them a hand and help them out and let them know that they're not alone. Because that can be a confusing time if you're not in tune. So another thing that might come up is your relationship with your job and communication there. So really pay attention to how you feel about your job and communicate and listen to your higher self. And most importantly, don't waste your time or talents on something that isn't for you. And just kind of focus on what it is that you want out of your career. We also have Pluto 18 degrees in Capricorn, which represents spirituality and completion with the 18, because 1 plus 8 is 9. So we have another 9 in there, so more completion. So there's a lot of things that are sort of ending, and it's perfect because now we can start this new phase and begin again. Another major aspect is Venus opposite Uranus, which is going to bring up relationships. So that's going to be a really important theme as well. So really thinking about, with the new moon in Virgo, not being overly critical of our partners and our friends and our family. We also have Mars 29 degrees in Capricorn. So we have another Capricorn, which is going to bring about power and recognition, but in an area of service most likely, because 2 plus 9 is 11, which is 11, the master number of service. So we're going to get recognition for helping others, but we should remember to not do so looking for recognition, but just to do so because it feels good. We also have the South Node in 3 degrees in Aquarius, which is about communication again. So we have a lot of communication coming up this new moon, and it all, for the most part, seems to be positive as long as you are listening to your higher self and being in tune with yourself and your body and all of your guides. Another major aspect is the moon sextile to Jupiter, which may make you drawn to write, whether it's poetry, a book, maybe even a song. And this is going to lead to great achievement. So it's a time when whatever you're going to write is going to be powerful. It's going to be meaningful. So if there's something you've been meaning to write, it's a good time to do it. It also may make you want to take a voyage, and this could be an internal voyage, or it could be an actual voyage to somewhere. We have 8 degrees moon sextile Jupiter to the moon trine and Pluto, which again, another major aspect has to do with exploring the shadow self. And the Neptune trine Jupiter is also to do with expansion. So we can expand by exploring our shadow selves in healthy ways. We also have a grand trine with Mercury, Saturn, and Uranus, which is very earth related, and it's going to allow us to find our talent. And if we listen to our higher self, we can really find prosperity. So again, listening to your higher self, which is always important. And we also have a kite between Pisces, and that's about surrendering and listening to what the universe is calling you towards. So the universe and your higher self at this time are really going to be there speaking to you if you're there to listen. So don't get too caught up. Really just be open and aware if you can. We also have Saturn, the North Node, and Pisces, which reminds us to listen to our higher self, connect, and go within. So all in all, this new moon is a time to do something blissful, maybe take some time out for some self-soothing work. A hobby that's hands-on would be really good right now. If you like to, say, make macrame, or you're into knitting, or you make dream catchers, or really anything hands-on that you do, maybe even playing a sport, something that's self-soothing to you, especially something that has an outcome, is a great idea right now. This is also a good time for actualization of financial growth and staying grounded. So if you can stay grounded and listen to your higher self at the same time, you can really find a way. You can find sort of openings in the market where you could create something that the world needs that can be of service to others, but that can also help you out financially. And that's a really beautiful thing. There's going to be some decisions that come about at this new moon, and they can be really positive decisions for you if you're listening to your higher vibrational self and staying in a high vibrational place and being in tune with yourself in general. So, a really cool new moon in Virgo, really powerful sort of finalizing energies, a time when we can really create new beautiful things in our lives, really thinking about our day-to-day routine, what we do on a daily basis, how it makes us feel, and how we can do things that make us feel better, not getting bogged down in the things that are maybe not so great, but focusing on the things that bring us bliss in our day-to-day routine, and really just enjoying them and bringing more of that into our lives, finding time for the things that bring us joy and love. So thank you guys for listening. I hope you enjoy my new intro. That's a really exciting prospect. It was done by Rookie Outlines, who I will post on my Instagram channel, Crystals of Quartz, if you guys want to check it out. This is going to be my intro now, so very exciting. So, and thank you very much for making that for me, Rookie. And I hope you guys have a lovely day. Enjoy the new moon, and I will see you guys next time. If you have any requests for any other sorts of spiritual videos, definitely don't hesitate to ask. I have a few things that I want to add to my daily routine to sort of be of service to you guys and to help me along my path as well. So if there's anything else you want, let me know. But I do have the intention set out to do more tarot readings on here, showing you guys my rune readings more, maybe even doing an intro on palm reading, stuff like that. So if you guys have any other suggestions, I can also talk maybe about plants a little bit. I can even talk, about my cats. I've been meaning to do some product descriptions. I want to do a short video on the float tank that I did 2 weekends ago, just to explain how that was and to say how wonderful it is. So lots of fun stuff planned, and I hope you guys will subscribe if you liked the video, and I'll see you next time. Love and light.